All right, so I guess I'll start it off and give you guys some stuff. Obviously, I've watched the film a bunch. One, I don't want to take anything away from NC State. They're the best team we've played so far. They play really hard. Their players made plays, executed at a high level. They can run. They're physical. I think they're well coached. I have a lot of respect for them, just like I thought. Looking back at the game, the game, they scored pretty quick. And then we scored pretty quick, and it's 7-7. And then after that, really nobody's scoring. I thought we could execute at a higher level in that first half. There were a lot of yards out there. We had guys open. We dropped some balls, and we need to make those plays. You guys all saw that. And then we drove the ball right down the field. We hit some huge runs, and we're ready to go up 14-7. And the ball hits Trey, and he knows it. Trey's going to be an NFL tight end. He'll come down with that ball, and their kid makes a nice play. But I know deep down Trey believes he should have made that play. He didn't. So now we decided to go for the field goal. We missed the field goal. So 14-7 doesn't happen. 10-7 doesn't happen. They go down, they kick a field goal. So it's 10-7. And again, if we execute at a higher level in that first half, we scored points because as you guys saw, they were out there and we had some guys. We come out in the second half, they stop us, we stop them. And when they go to punt, we drop the punt. And Grant just dropped it. And I know he feels terrible about it. It happened, right? It's football. So he drops it, they score. So now it's 17-7, right? 17-7, we get the football. And we're on about the 45, 50-yard line. And we have Zay wide open. And we miss it. We couldn't execute it. I mean, he's wide open. That gets the game to 17-14. The crowd gets back in it. It doesn't happen. So we need to execute better. 2 plays later, we throw a slant on third down a little bit high. It bounces off our receiver's hands. It needs to be a better throw. We need to catch the ball. Bounces off. They intercept it. A couple plays later, 24-7. And at that point, it kind of felt like a tidal wave hit our guys. And I obviously need to do a better job of making sure they respond because we're still in the game. And it got away from us at that point. So, I just finished meeting with the guys. They'll be in a good spot. I showed them, just like I do if we win. I showed them the plays that were there that we need to make. I talked about the things I need to do a better job as the coach. And then I showed them what we need to do better to win football games. And that's the truth. So I don't think the score was indicative of yesterday. Clearly, they beat us, and they beat us good. But that should have been a 1-possession game going into the fourth. And because of that, I'm disappointed. And we'll do better, and we'll get better. But no reason for anybody to panic or, start thinking some crazy things. Our guys are going to fight, and we're going to get them better. And I'm looking forward to getting out there and practicing today. So gives you a little synopsis, Rich.
First of all, let's start with Tyler. The decision to sit him out, and how's he doing?
He wasn't strong enough to play. I mean, we tried to push through during the week. Tyler's a tough kid. We missed him yesterday. Not taking anything away from Jack, but he's our starting left tackle with a ton of starts, and that hurt us. Hopeful he'll be able to get out there and practice and continue to get stronger, and hopeful that he'll play this weekend.
We'll go next to Kevin.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Thanks for coming on.
Of course. Want to ask you about Jaden Williams. He had a phenomenal start to his freshman year, about as good as you could ask. Tough night last night. What do you say to a kid like that, or do you have to say anything?
I said exactly what I said to him yesterday. I grabbed him on the sideline and said, "Hey, man, you've been playing wide receiver your whole life. Just go out and catch the next one." Those days are going to happen. How you respond to them is going to be more important than what actually happened. He's a good player, and he'll make those catches.
Go ahead, Rich.
Oh, Coach, you looked at the film. I don't have the exact number, but I'm guessing that Dennis threw the ball out of bounds at least 6 or 7 times on his pass drops. Was that coverage? Was that breakdowns? What?
It was a combination of
I don't know if
both.
you count that, but it just seemed like he threw the
No,
ball.
I didn't. Rich, I don't count the amount of times he throws it out of bounds. So I mean, I'm guessing you're right. I mean, with your number. But it's a combination. They got some pressure. They got very, very aggressive, especially in the second half when they knew we had to throw the football. I mean, you can see everybody they were coming. It's a combination of pressure, a combination of coverage. But I will say, if you watch the film closely, Rich, from the first play on, we had guys open. I mean, on the first play of the game, they didn't cover the tight end or the receiver. I mean, both were wide open. It could have been an explosive 25, 30-yard play to start the game. Should have been.
Kevin?
Coach, I noticed before the fourth quarter, usually Travis Levy kind of gets the guys going, but I saw you did last night or tried to. I'm just curious what that message was.
I just felt like I needed to grab them all together, and I just told them I didn't care what the score was. I just said I want to turn on the film tomorrow and see the fight you have in you, and I want to see you finish this game. It's important for me to, regardless of what was going on, we got a bunch of young guys out there. I want to make sure they know we got to finish regardless of what's going on. So that was just my message. I just felt like it was a good time for me to bring them together.
Jeff, it looks like it's all our questions.
One more, Jeff. Could you just talk about TJ Rainham? I mean, how do you use him? Is he like on a nose, or do you have him in the gap?
Yeah, he's a nose. So he'll line up in the A gap, he'll line up in the B gap, he'll line up over the center. He's a strong kid who Rich is actually having a really good year. I think it's probably the best football that he's played. I'm really proud of how he's responded this year, on and off the field. I mean, he's doing a really nice job. I mean, we probably haven't brought him up enough, but he's really doing a good job, Rich.
Looks like he's kind of like more like a bowling ball at 6 feet, 300 pounds. Is that what you look for in a nose tackle? Just an immovable object?
Well, you come in all shapes and sizes, but you need a thick guy who's hard to block and move. And a lot of times those guys aren't 6'6". Usually your ends are the taller guys, because the guys in the interior, you're talking more leverage, and that's usually a little bit lower to the ground. But the wide hips and the guys who are strong and stout and can take on the double teams, because that position is going to get double teamed a lot, Rich. You know what I mean? I mean, that's not a fun position to play. I mean, you're getting blasted by 600 and something pounds each play,
And one more on Jason Maitre. They only credited him with one tackle. I must have heard his name about 6 or 7 times. We'll just talk about him a little bit.
Yeah, I think he's starting to come along as a leader for us. He's the one who had the hit at the end of the first half. The ball that the guy caught and he knocked it out. That was Jason. That was a great hit. He had a couple other really good hits. I don't know about the one tackle, Rich. I felt like he was all over the place yesterday. He had the other one where he hit the guy and the ball popped up in the air. It was a big play. And then on one of the slants that was caught, he came out of the middle flying and shoulder pad right through the sternum. Guy plays with a ton of energy, practices really hard, comes in and watches extra film a ton. And he's really becoming a good leader for us. And it's his only first year playing that position, so he'll continue to get better.
We'll wrap things up with Kevin.
Sorry, Coach, just one more.
Yeah, you're good, guys. You're
You
good.
mentioned that last play by Maitre. Now that you've seen it back, do you still think it was the right call?
You are trying to get me in
That's
trouble with
not
the
it.
refs.
That's
You're
not it.
the guy who, I appreciate you bringing a smile to my face today. You're the guy who always asks me the questions about the refs, and I'm going to get myself in trouble.
That's not what I'm trying to do.
They called it. They told me that he bobbled the ball and that it was not a catch. Did you see it?
In real time, I thought it was a fumble.
Did you see the TV copy?
Oh, yeah.
What did it look like on the TV copy? I haven't seen it yet.
Still a fumble.
Okay, well, you can write the story on how you think it was a fumble, but please keep me out of it.
Of course.
Nah, guys, I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on today, and we're gonna get better. So let's get it rolling.